Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and today we're going to be looking at my top list of the most comfortable shoes that you can get right now. Of course, this is just my opinion. You know, comfort is very subjective. I have a few friends that think Vans are comfortable and of course, I don't think Vans are comfortable at all. And for me, what makes a comfortable shoe is the cushioning has to be very soft. And then for the upper, I usually prefer a knit, and I prefer it to be pretty well ventilated, of course not too hot. And I like to have a very nice stretch in most of my uppers, you know, when I'm just casually walking around. So if you guys want to get any of these shoes, I'll try to leave a link in the description box. So let's get it started off with number 10. My number 10 is going to be the Jordan 1 Zoom Fearless. It's going for 175 bucks, or that's what the retail price was. You can't really get it anywhere besides probably on like StockX or GOAT. The cushioning is very comfortable, but of course, the materials aren't very nice. It's basically like a synthetic leather material, especially the colorway that I had. Of course, there are different colorways that are coming out, but you know, it kind of gave me a little bit of pinching. And of course, definitely not as soft or comfortable as a knit material or even a mesh. So that's why it's lower on the list. But if you're looking for a very comfortable cushioning setup, it's using a full-length Zoom strobo unit. Of course, if you guys have tried it, super nice. Zooms right underneath your foot. One thing though, for me personally, like if I walk around in it a little too much, the tension or like I don't know if it's tension, but just like the pressure that you get from the Zoom unit that's constantly on your foot, especially if you're just walking around for a couple of hours, gets kind of uncomfortable. But anyways, the Jordan 1 Zoom still very comfortable, and in my opinion, it's definitely the best looking. So if you want a good looking shoe, especially just a Jordan, and you still want to be comfortable because the original Jordan 1 is not comfortable at all, then definitely go ahead and cop the Jordan 1 Fearless. Alright, moving on to number 9 is the Air Force 1 React. I believe the retail price was like 120 bucks, but it's on sale for like 80 or 90 bucks on Nike.com right now. And I believe there's a few colorways available. So of course, super comfortable, and I feel like I like it a little bit better than the Jordan 1, you know, Fearless, because they're using a full-length React drop-in midsole with a small teardrop air unit underneath the heel, and it's very nice. You know, the React, of course, there's a lot of compression. It's plush, it's soft, it's a little heavy, it's a little bulky, and you know, they're using leather materials and all that. But if you want that aesthetic, you know, and you still want to be comfortable, especially with the cushion, it's a very good option. Alright, moving on to number 8 is a basketball shoe, and I'll pick the PG4. The PG4 is incredible because of the full-length Air strobo unit, and I feel like it's a little bit more comfortable than the Zoom strobo. There's obviously not as much pressure on your foot. I feel like there's less PSI, right? And it's just softer, and then once you start running or jogging a little bit, there's a little bit of bounce. Obviously not as much as a Zoom strobo unit, but there's still a little bit of bounce. And of course, the actual foam is also soft, and the materials aren't bad. You know, there's that shroud material that's basically made out of mesh. It conforms to your foot very well. You know, it's comfortable on foot and all that. So it's a very comfortable shoe to just walk around in casually. Alright, moving on to number 7 is the Jordan T Runner. And that cushioning setup is probably one of my favorite cushioning setups in this entire list. It's very comfortable. They're using a thick slab of React. It's super comfortable. There's a lot of compression, and there's a full-length Zoom unit in there where it's double stacked in the forefoot, and React where it's super soft and also bouncy. You get a good amount of bounce from the Zoom unit. It's not like right underneath your foot like a Zoom strobo unit is. So it's not as like kind of uncomfortable like when you start walking around in it a lot. You know, I don't know if it's just me, but it just happens for me. It's also a very good runner, but the reason why it's a little bit lower on the list is because of the materials. The materials aren't as good as like a knit, a Flyknit or a prime knit or whatever. It's just like a little bit stiffer, especially when you first get it. You know, once you break it in, of course it gets soft. There's no stretch to it either. So that's why it's a little bit lower on the list. Alright, moving on to number 6, we got the Nike Pegasus 37. It's their new running shoe, and it's going for 120 bucks. The cushioning on that shoe is super nice. It's a full-length React midsole and sheath thick. There's a lot of compression, of course, and React is super comfortable. And there is a very large volume Zoom unit in the forefoot that's top-loaded. Feels very nice. It's bouncy. The material also is pretty damn nice. It's a very thin mesh material. Of course, there's no like stretch to it, which I would prefer. But you know, the mesh is still pretty damn comfortable, conforms to your foot very well, and of course I feel like it's way better than just leather materials. So the Pegasus 37 is very comfortable. Of course, I would just wait a couple of months because you know the Pegasus model usually goes down in price a lot. Alright, moving on to number 5 is a New Balance 1080 V10. It's going for 150 bucks, and it's actually a really comfortable shoe. It's using a full length fresh foam, and fresh foam is like, it kind of reminds me of Light Strike. It's definitely a little bit more responsive and a little bit stiffer than like Boost and React, I feel like. It definitely doesn't have a lot of bounce, but I feel like it has a little bit more bounce than Boost. And then the fresh foam, you know, there's a good amount of compression, especially in the heel. The material is very, very nice. You know, they're using a knit material. It reminds me a lot of Flyknit that, you know, Nike uses in the runners. It's stretchy, it conforms to your foot very well, it stretches over your foot, which I love. And not to mention, it's a pretty good looking shoe. Alright, moving on to number 4 is the Ultraboost 2020, and it's going for 180 bucks. Pretty damn expensive, of course. I don't own a pair of Ultraboost 2020s. I have the Ultraboost 2019. Which basically is the same thing as the 2020. They did a little minor tweaks from the 2019 to the 2020, but basically it's the same shoe. And of course I tried the 2020 at the outlets, and it's basically like the Ultraboost 2019. The Boost is very comfortable, it's very soft. Of course Boost does bottom out a little bit, you know, after a while. It's not super quick like Lunarlon, but it does bottom out. So just be careful for that. And of course the material is very nice, and it's a one booty upper, you know, and super stretchy where the tongue is, so you can just slide your foot in. Super easy to slip on, which I think is a very, very big plus. Alright, moving on to my number 3 is the Epic React Flyknit 2. So that shoe's going for, I believe, 150 bucks, but right now it's on sale for like 80-90 bucks. And this shoe is using a full length React. Of course, it's the same as the original Epic React, and it's pretty damn bouncy. It's definitely a lot thinner than most of the shoes on this list, but it's still very comfortable. And then the material is super stretchy. You have a good amount of ventilation holes as well, so if it's a hot day, you have a lot of ventilation. And now moving on to my number 2 is the Nike React Presto. The React Presto, I believe, retails for like 120 bucks, but it's on sale right now for like $90. And the React cushioning is so comfortable in this shoe for some reason. It's like the most comfortable cushioning as far as like a full length React goes. And of course, the material is pretty damn nice as well. It's not as nice as a knit, of course, especially with quality, but it's basically a neoprene material that has a lot of stretch to it, has a lot of give, so it stretches over your foot. I would say it's even a little too soft, you know, it has a little too much stretch. So, you know, when you put your toes up, it kind of like stretches over the material a little bit, but still it's like walking on clouds, walking on marshmallows or whatever, and I can definitely walk around in those shoes all day. Alright, moving on to my number 1 shoe, and it's a little bit older, but you can still get it. It's a Chinese brand, you can get it on Femuji, and of course, if that's not a big clue for you guys, I don't know what is, but it's the Peak Tai Chi 1.0. It's going for like 80-90 bucks, so it's pretty damn cheap. The Tai Chi cushioning that they developed is so nice. It's like, I don't know, like they gave it the right amount of thickness where it's like not too mushy and not too soft, but like there's just a good amount of compression. And then like, that's just for like walking around, right? And then once you start running or jogging, it has a little bounce to it. You know what I'm saying? So the cushioning is one of my favorites in like a casual shoe, or I guess it's a running shoe. And then the materials also, it's a one booty upper. There's a little bit of stretch to it. You can easily slide your foot into the shoe, so you don't have to like untie the laces or anything. It's a very, very soft material and it conforms to your foot very well. So Peak Tai Chi is still my number 1, and I wear that shoe all the time. So anyways, that's my list, my top 10 list of the most comfortable shoes that you can get right now. And again, if you guys want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. If you guys have tried any of these shoes, tell us what your list would be down in the comment section below. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.